But you know what scares me the most? When I can't fight it anymore. When it takes over. When I totally lose control. I like it.
Huh? Oh, yeah! Yes!
The 2003 Hulk movie is one of the strangest case studies in those early aught superhero films, the precursors to the MCU. To his credit, Ang Lee went all in making a campy, hammy, shamelessly comic-booky comic book movie. He's really going for it, like Sam Raimi did with Spider-Man. He's not embarrassed of his source material like Bryan Singer when he dressed all the X-Men in black leather suits.
What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
But he's also making an Ang Lee movie, a gentle, character-focused melodrama. You get tonal whiplash switching back and forth between the two. This movie starts off with a mad scientist experimenting on animals, with lots of goofy Dutch angles and crash zooms, very old school B-movie. Then, when baby Bruce is looking around at the beauty of nature out in the desert, it feels very cerebral and humanistic, almost like the Tree of Life, where we're celebrating our humanity and trying to win Oscars doing it.
Come on, this is unbelievable! What kind of is this?
We're 5 minutes in and I still have no idea what kind of movie this is supposed to be. The domestic violence that Bruce hears through the walls is played disturbingly straight. It really captures the fear this little boy is feeling in the comfort of his own bedroom. And this is all before we've seen a single frame of superhero action. It's a lot to burden an audience with when they're just expecting to see a big green guy break things.
Maybe smash a few things along the way.
I think it's gratuitous, but whatever.
This movie both takes too long to get going and doesn't take long enough. It tries to speed run through Bruce's childhood in the first few minutes. There are so many little vignettes of Bruce growing up, having bad dreams and going off to college, but there's nothing for you to emotionally attach to, nothing of any real dramatic substance. By the time we finally meet Eric Bana, we've already seen about 5 other actors play Bruce at different stages of his life. Someone somewhere should have figured out you need a much more exciting opener for a Hulk movie. This movie doesn't even try to put a smile on your face until Stan Lee and Lou Ferrigno's dual cameo. Still one of the all-time great cameos, by the way.
Security ought to be Good morning, Dr. Krensler. Security ought to be beefed up a lot more. In a place like this, you can't be...
I really admire that Ang Lee embraced the comic book format and tried to create a comic book movie in the truest sense. He shot and edited the film to feel like your eyes are following panels across the pages of a comic. Sometimes it works really well, other times it's really jarring. The split screen sequences work beautifully because they let you decide where to look in a collage of interconnected images. That's when it feels the most like a comic book come to life. The scene transitions are the worst because the bigger picture doesn't look like a comic book. It looks like the scene selection menu on a DVD. But overall, this comic booky approach to the filmmaking was a really noble visual experiment, and I'm surprised more directors haven't tried to ape it. The biggest problem with the movie is that Ang Lee is directing the hell out of a really weak script. These days we've got writers like James Gunn and Ryan Coogler and Joanna Callow working on Marvel movies. But back in the day, you had to go in the bargain bin of screenwriters to get some hack to adapt a Marvel comic into a safe summer blockbuster. The script that Ang Lee is working from here came from the slush pile of mediocre dross that also blessed us with the Ghost Rider movie and the Daredevil movie and the Green Lantern movie. I can't put it all on the screenwriters, that's not fair. These writers were often caught between a rock and a hard place, trying to simultaneously adapt a comic book faithfully in all its weirdness, and please meddling studio executives who are worried about international markets and potential controversies. But the script is the biggest problem with this Hulk movie. Lee is doing everything he can behind the camera and in the editing room to make this a cool, exciting movie. But the script is doing everything it can to fuck all that up. It feels like it's been cobbled together from so many different drafts, so many different screenwriters with so many different takes, that there's no sense of coherence at all. The pace is bizarrely disjointed, the narrative is completely unfocused, and the movie bites off way more than it can chew. Is it a relationship drama? Is it a father-son intergenerational trauma story? Is it body horror? Is it military action? It kind of oscillates between all these things, and it rarely feels like it's working on any level. Bruce Banner is barely a character here. When Tobey Maguire played Peter Parker, you really got a sense of his personality and his insecurities and who who Peter is at his core. When Hugh Jackman played Wolverine, you felt his deep-seated rage, his grizzled, battle-hardened cynicism, and his long history of violent traumas. Even when Owen Grufford and Jessica Alba and Chris Evans and Michael Chiklis played the Fantastic Four, they really rounded out those characters and captured their personalities and how they're different from each other but still work well together. But this version of Bruce Banner is just a mopey sad boy like Henry Cavill's Clark Kent. I really like Eric Bana as an actor. Between Chopper, Munich, Star Trek, and Funny People, he's shown off some impressive range, and Hannah is one of my favourite movies. But his Bruce Banner, especially compared to Bill Bixby and Mark Ruffalo, is a nothing burger. Jennifer Connelly is there, oozing charisma and personality and depth, and she's relegated to playing the spurned love interest. When I was a kid, I didn't rewatch this movie much, because I remembered it having one really cool sequence surrounded by a bunch of bullshit I didn't care about. Now, rewatching it as an adult, I had the exact same reaction. There's about half an hour of really cool stuff, where the Hulk goes on a rampage through the desert, gets flown into space, and emerges from underneath a street in San Francisco. But it's buried under another 100 minutes of tripe.
Puny human.
But holy shit if that half an hour isn't incredible. This is the only Hulk movie that's ever really nailed one of his best powers. He can leap a building in a single bound. Superman's power of flight was actually a retcon. In the original comics, he just had a really confident stride. He could jump so high that it was basically like flying, but they later changed it so he could actually fly. But they never retconned the Hulk's jumping abilities. That's how the Hulk gets around. His big fuck-off calves can send him soaring into the sky, so he can travel across an entire desert by simply jumping 300 feet at a time. We've never seen that with Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, but Ang Lee had a great traversal sequence in his Hulk movie. That whole sequence in the desert with the army trying to take out the Hulk and the Hulk testing the boundaries of his own super strength in real time as he fights them off, Sam Elliott coming after him in a helicopter like Captain Ahab to catch his white whale or green whale, is undoubtedly the highlight of the film. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about when I say you need an exciting opener. They should have opened with this in media res and then done a freeze frame with Eric Bana doing a voiceover.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. Remember to like and subscribe and click on the little bell. And also seize the day and call your mom and be kind to yourself.